Todd Willis had been awake for almost 6 weeks now. Awake in the sense that he was apparently living in the real world again. The problem was, when he had been asleep, he had dreamed things that seemed real when he was dreaming them. Like for a while, he had believed himself to be a kid named Thomas. For several summer weeks, or so it seemed, he had spent his days with Jeff and Greg Stilson, two brothers who played oddly futuristic video games and swam in their backyard pool and always smelled like chlorine. The Stilsons were kind to him, and they didn't seem to mind that he never spoke aloud. They didn't even care when he beat the crap out of them at their own video games. And then one day, with no fanfare or explanation, Jeff and Greg had disappeared, and Todd retreated again into the white and empty void where there was no sound or color or smell or taste. In this void, the only sensation was fear that vibrated at him from everywhere. A while later, he would dream something else, like he was the very first human to test a new teleportation machine, or a famous scientist, or a man whose whole life was really a movie someone was watching. Sometimes, instead of visual dreams, he heard music. Amazing songs that would have been famous had anyone else known about them. But no matter what he dreamed, no matter what he heard, eventually he was forced back into the endless white void. It was a realm where isolation consumed you from the inside, where you could not ignore the pointlessness of all life in the universe. And Todd feared it like nothing else. It was no wonder then, even though he had been awake for some time now, that Todd suspected he might still be asleep. How could he know for sure these 6 weeks weren't just another dream, that eventually his parents would disappear, along with his new neighborhood where they lived? Honestly, he didn't care that much. Todd would accept any reality in place of infinite white nothingness. His doctor was an older man, very thin and athletic-looking for his age. His name was Robbins. He wore shiny and spotless pointed shoes and looked at Todd like he was some kind of science project. Dr. Robbins had been treating him for more than 4 years, and upon Todd's miraculous awakening, had explained his condition in simple terms. Your brain became locked into a slow-wave sleep-like pattern that would normally last only a few hours. This happened because you experienced a very serious head injury when you were hit with debris from the tornado, and your brain needed special help to heal. Unfortunately, this healing process took much longer than we expected. Todd could not remember the tornado, nor anything about the 4 years since it had ravaged the town, and this gap made the world seem very strange. For instance, one of his last memories was a conversation with his friend Matt about the upcoming sequel to Star Wars, which Matt had heard was being filmed in Europe. They had spoken breathlessly about what might happen in such a movie, since Luke had already destroyed the Death Star. But then, the tornado happened. While Todd was asleep, the second movie had come and gone, and now there was a third Star Wars movie in theaters. Darth Vader had turned out to be Luke's father, Princess Leia was his sister, and the whole world seemed to have lost its mind. The changes to his physical form were even stranger. His body had swollen with muscle, sprouted pubic hair overnight, and everything in the world was 9 inches lower than where he expected it to be. To top it all off, whenever he spoke, it sounded as if there was a frog in his throat. But in this case, Dr. Robbins could not be sure if it was a symptom of puberty or because he had so rarely exercised his ability to speak over the past 4 years. His doctor was unsure about many things. For one, he didn't know why Todd had remained asleep for so long. It seemed people rarely suffered a condition like this for more than a few weeks, let alone months. The official title of his diagnosis was catatonic schizophrenia, though his mother didn't care for the second word, because she said it implied he was crazy.